what tomorrow is? Halloween. And this is the season for all things pumpkin, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna be making pumpkin this and pumpkin that. Probably I'm gonna do pumpkin cheesecake today. Tomorrow night at my daughter's house I'm doing pumpkin soup. It's gonna be so great. But today we're gonna jump into the cheesecake, and I really hope you like it. It's gonna be amazing. I've been making this cheesecake probably 25 years, and people, every time they have it, they're like, oh, I didn't really like pumpkin until that cheesecake. It's good. So, you definitely want to try this. It's a great recipe. I'll throw it in my blog once we're done. Hey, and if you haven't taken the time to do so, make sure you hit like or subscribe, or both. That would work. I mentioned it before, I'm mentioning it again. Everybody talks about my red pot. I'm going to be giving away one of the red pots as soon as I get to 250 subscribers, so make sure that you subscribe now. Don't miss it. I'll come back in just a moment and we'll go over our wonderful ingredients for this cheesecake. It's not difficult. It's an easy cheesecake to make, but the main thing is, I think, making sure you have a good springform pan, which I have one right here. I line the bottom with parchment paper so it's easy to get the cheesecake out, and then make sure you bake your cheesecake with a water bath. I'm actually not going to do a water bath. I'm probably going to do a broiler pan in the bottom of the oven with water so that we steam up that oven really nice, and then you don't get as many cracks in the cheesecake. I know people are like, I make cheesecake and I wind up with cracks. That's because the oven is too dry. Whenever you actually steam up the oven a little bit, you don't get the cracks the same way. So the ingredients for the crust: we need about 1.5 cups of crushed graham crackers, about 5 tablespoons of butter, a tablespoon of sugar. You mix all of that together and then you put it down in the bottom of your springform pan and bake it about 5 minutes, and that makes your crust. As far as the cheesecake itself, we use 3 blocks cream cheese, about 1 cup of pumpkin. I'm just using canned pumpkin. We'll use nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice, and about 1 cup of sugar, and that makes this amazing cheesecake. Now, I do make a homemade whipped cream because I'm making this cheesecake for tomorrow. I don't know that I'll make the whipped cream today. With that, I just whip up heavy whipping cream and then add powdered sugar and flavorings that I want, and it makes an amazing whipping cream. But don't beat it too long or you're going to have butter. So, okay, so now the first thing that I do is I get ready for my crust. I get a package of these basic graham crackers. Some people say use the honey or the cinnamon graham crackers, cinnamon sugar graham crackers. You can do that, but really for the crust that I'm making, I want the cheesecake to actually take the cake. I don't really want, the crust to necessarily be the predominant element. So what I do is I tend to break these up a little bit inside of a good heavy Ziploc bag, probably like a freezer bag. Break them up a little bit. Zip them up. Make sure you get most of the air out, and then use something heavy and beat the crap out of them. Use my rolling pin. Once you get them down to a certain size, you can begin to roll them down a little bit. Now, the great thing about using the Ziploc bag is this may not be the last cheesecake you make this season, and if it's not, you can literally just leave these crumbs inside this bag. Store them for the next cheesecake. And when the next cheesecake comes along, you'll be ready. Pretty simple. Just want to make sure it's nice and crushed. Perfect. All right. And so we're going to use 1.5 cups of that. And then we will use a tablespoon of sugar and about 5 tablespoons of melted butter. I'll come right back and show you that. Okay. So we're going to take about a tablespoon of sugar. Again, these measures it's completely up to you. I'm going to go a little more than a tablespoon. Actually, I'm going to go about a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to take the fork that I have here, and I'm just going to mix the sugar into this. I already stirred the butter with that, so there's a little something stuck on the fork, but that's okay. Now, the idea behind your crust is you don't want mush, okay? Pour 5 tablespoons of melted butter into the graham crackers, just like so, and basically we want to toss them like a salad. We don't want them, we want them crumbly. We don't want mush. You want crumbles. You want everything to kind of be incorporated. The sugar and the butter help become a binding agent for the crumbs. And this is kind of what you're looking for right here. Just a nice crumbly mixture of the cracker crumbs and the butter. So once you have that, I have a springform pan right here that I have lined the bottom of it with parchment paper. And just dump the crumbs, baby. I get all those juicy little crumbs. Infinitely better. So I'm going to spread this out into my pan. Just kind of as evenly as I can. I don't know if you see what I'm doing here. Super easy. Not hard. Go ahead and spread that down in there. Perfect. And then I'm going to take a glass, okay? And I'm going to use the bottom of that glass just to push the graham crackers down, and we're going to form a basic crust. And once you do that, you're going to bake it in the oven. I think it was at 350. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and tell you. We're going to be baking at about 350. Make sure that that whole bottom is covered. It doesn't even matter if those graham crackers push up on the side a little bit. It's actually okay. It's kind of fun. This is a large springform pan, so we're going to do the best we can. And we'll get this all in there, get it taken care of, and we'll be right back with you to show you the next step. So basically what I have here is the three 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese in my mixer, and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. If you know me, you know I don't measure a whole lot. I've got about a cup of sugar, maybe just a hint over. And I'm going to begin by mixing this until it's creamy. Then we're going to add eggs, pumpkin, and seasonings, and we'll get this thing in the oven. One thing that I probably should have mentioned is if you're using a stand mixer, it's a good idea to have one of these, Teflon spatulas so that you can scrape down the sides and make sure that you're really getting your ingredients mixed in there very well. So we'll come right back and we'll add some pumpkin, eggs, and seasonings. Yes, baby. Okay, so our cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla are nice and smooth. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a little bit of cinnamon here. It is a half teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we will add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Perfect. And we'll add about a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. So wonderful. All right. So now I'm going to start this mixer up, and we're going to add in the eggs, and we'll stop and add in the pumpkin as well. So just let the seasonings go in, and I'm going to let these eggs go in maybe one at a time. Just let them get incorporated. Give it time to break the yolk. Perfect. Look at her go. Daddy like. It's gonna be so sexy. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna speed this up just a little. Now, with a lot of cakes, you don't do a lot in the lines of mixing batter, that type of thing. You kind of don't want to overbeat it, but with the cheesecake, the better it's mixed, the better it is. So I am adding my pumpkin now. This is 1 cup of just canned pumpkin. Perfect. Now, I could make my own pumpkin puree, of course, but I didn't really have time this morning, and this is an easy solution. It's just as yummy. All right, and we'll mix this in, and then in a few minutes, we'll add this to our already prepared cheesecake crust. Okay, our cheesecake filling is mixed up. I did want to mention, I'm going to be putting a pot of water, now not a pot with a rubber handle or a plastic handle, but an all-metal pot. This is going to add a nice steam to the oven. I didn't want to do that while the crust was going, so I'm going to put this in. In a moment, we'll fill the shell, and we'll be ready to make our cheesecake. Okay, y'all, this is the sexiest part of it. We have our pre-baked graham cracker crust. Wish I could do this with my other hand, but I can't. We are going in all the way with the pumpkin cheesecake filling. Oh, so delightful, so perfect, so great. You can make a mess, it's all right. It doesn't much matter. Gonna get all of this gooey, wonderful filling. Now this is going to get big. I'm just letting you know. it will go all the way up the side of that springform pan. All right. And what we're going to do is just kind of smooth this out with our spatula as best we can. Make sure everything is there. Look at it. Oh my goodness. There. Going to make sure that it's nice and even, and then I'm going to put this in the oven. Now, about an hour from now, we'll take a look at it, see what's going on. Might take a little longer than an hour, but basically what you want to see is it's going to puff, and you want it to pull away from the sides of the springform, and then it's ready to come out. Okay, y'all. The cheesecake is out of the oven. We went about an hour and 10 minutes, and I have to tell you, it is kind of sexy. Basically what you do at this point is you're going to let this thing get to room temperature. Then you're going to cover it and put it in a refrigerator, and once it is cooled, then you'll remove that outer ring of the springform pan. You don't do that until the cheesecake is fully cooled. So I've at times removed the outer ring whenever it was just room temperature, but you definitely don't want to do it hot, because if you do, you're going to tear up your cheesecake. So let it cool to room temperature. That's at least an hour to an hour and a half, and then put it in the fridge for the best results. Remove that outer ring at least when it's room temperature, if not when it has been refrigerated for a good little while. So, well, I started my day in a cute little hoodie, and then the temperatures are in the 70s, so no, I can't do it. I had to do the t-shirt, sorry. But anyway, we finished the cheesecake, and the cheesecake is good. I can't tell you it's good for sure because I haven't tried it, but I will tell you this. She is sexy. She is beautiful. I haven't taken it off the bottom of the springform yet. We're just letting it continue to cool. But y'all, oh my goodness. Look at it. The crust. And then tomorrow, before I go to my daughter's, I'm going to whip up an amazing whipped cream. It's going to be amazing. I always use like an almond extract in it. Just wow. So, I hope you're going to give this one a try because it's really super easy. Even if you just use Cool Whip or the spray whipped cream from the freezer section, it's okay. It's still good. This is a great one for Thanksgiving. You definitely don't want to miss this one. Super good. Super good. Make sure you check out, I have some links in the description section, the link to my new little Thanksgiving cookbook. The pumpkin cheesecake is in there. $5 on my Etsy store, so not too bad, and you get 15 recipes, a lot of fun, and you have it forever. You have some old lady recipes because my grandma's stuff is in there, my stuff is in there, a lot of stuff that makes its way on our Thanksgiving table every year. Additionally, this recipe I will post over on my website, popsplace.life. Make sure you go over there and check it out. That's always fun. It'll be in the blog, and you can just filter it down to recipes, and all the recipes for everything that I make appear right there. So, thank you for liking and subscribing and for being here. You are in here, y'all. I'm telling you, my subscribers keep going up and up and up and up, and it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel like people are enjoying what we're doing. So please do keep coming to Pop's Place. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you comment. Make sure you tell your friends. Forward the link. Let people know. This is a really great opportunity for you to see some easy stuff that you can make. I mean, stuff that, you know, people are going to eat it and they're going to be like, wow, you made this? Yeah. And it was pretty easy. Don't tell them it was easy, though. Just give it to them and tell them you worked all day for it, you know? Because that cheesecake didn't take me very long. You show up with that for Thanksgiving, they're going to be like, where have you been all my life? You know, if you ain't married, you probably get somebody with that cheesecake. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Anyhow, all right, so I'm going to go away. Thank you for stopping by. A lot of fun. Now, tomorrow, I'm coming back. I'm going to be at my daughter's house. We're going to make pumpkin soup, which my granddaughter, I can already tell you, she's going to be climbing me like a tree. It is what it is. But we're going to make the pumpkin soup, we're going to make the roast beef sliders, and we are going to have a great Halloween together over at my daughter's house while we hand out candy and scare kids and the whole bit. So, oh, and my head looks like a pumpkin because I didn't want my hair in the cheesecake. So, get in here. All right, well, thanks for stopping by. We will chat with you soon, or we'll chat with you another time. Have a good one.